Hi there, it's Maya here of Two Randos, and as you can see I'm wearing a knitted garment. I knitted this myself and I'm wearing it because I want to talk about mistakes that I've made on this garment. So I knitted this last year. It was supposed to be a winter project for the summer. It's knitted in cotton, and it was a Japanese knitter who provided the pattern. It had 4 sizes, and my first mistake was to choose the largest size. So being a person who is large, I thought, why waste time to measure myself against the recommended sizes? I just thought I would choose the largest one because it would probably fit me, and if it doesn't, it would be comfortable. So this garment would not have looked as large if I didn't make a few other mistakes, which I'm going to mention later. Also, the recommended yarn was silk, and I used cotton because that's the yarn I had at the time. So one of the things that I learned by making that mistake was how heavy cotton is. So here there's about 800 grams of cotton, and as you can see, it drags down the whole garment and it makes it look very heavy. And it is actually very heavy to wear, it just drags it down. The sweater was supposed to be worn from the front and also from the back. And I just absolutely fell in love with the pattern. I like the colors, so I spent a lot of time knitting this. I haven't worn it yet, and I will be frogging it, so I'm doing this video just before frogging it because I've tried to think about repurposing it or wearing it in a different way, but none of these things work. So I realized that the garment is too large for me when I came up to this area. But instead of starting all over again, I just thought I would continue. And then I made another mistake, which I didn't realize at the time, which was using this section in a much larger size. So I knitted, I think, about 10 rows of this instead of 4. And as you can see, that adds another level of volume. And then again, the same kind of stitch, it adds another level of volume. So it sort of looks a little bit like frills on a skirt, which I will keep in mind when I knit a skirt sometime in future. However, I love this garment, despite the fact that it will be frogged, because I learned many things. First, I learned on my mistakes, and perhaps another person would have just given up on knitting, but actually these mistakes made me look into how to read patterns, how to swatch before doing a knit. So currently when I knit, I also try out the garment multiple times, which wasn't the case with this garment. So I will be talking about trying your garment throughout knitting on another project that I'm working on. But back to this one, I learned, as I said, many things. One, that cotton is very heavy. Also, I learned new ways of knitting, so I didn't know how to knit like this before. I also learned how to basically jump a stitch to create this beautiful, really lovely pattern that looks like trees, like Christmas trees, which I really like. Then I learned to figure out my proper size and reading the instructions properly and not adding things without actually taking measurements and recalculating. So that's something that I now practice when I knit, which doesn't mean that I won't make a mistake. Also, I'm more comfortable in deciding when to frog. As a knitter, sometimes you're well into your work and you think, oh, it will look all right. But actually, if you have a feeling that it won't, it's better to lose a few days of work rather than have a garment that you will never wear. So that's why I'm showing you this. I'm not ashamed of my mistakes. I'm actually quite proud of it, because I took on this project with only knowing the stockinette stitch and not having knitted for over 30 years. And despite its failure, it actually inspired me to learn more and to prepare more for a knit rather than give up. So at the moment, I'm thinking about transferring different designs, doing my own designs, and it's all a big, big learning curve. And I'm very grateful actually to all the YouTubers and all the designers that have preceded me and that I'm learning from. I will list some of them and link also in the description who inspired me to do this. I will link the pattern if you want to buy it. It's an absolutely beautiful sweater, as you can see on the picture of the original model, who I think also is the designer of this. It's a Japanese designer, and I do love Japanese stitches and also the way Japanese designers design the garments. So that's it from me this time. I may record a little bit of the frogging process. My heart breaks when I have to frog this, but it has to be done so it can be worn properly.